Welcome to this professional development module on supporting middle school learners with profound blindness. These students have no visual cues at all, require structured tactile learning, rely heavily on auditory instruction, and need consistent orientation and mobility routines to maintain independence. Today's focus is safety, tactile literacy, mobility training, multisensory access, and emotional confidence. Students with profound blindness may have no light or shape perception and depend completely on touch, hearing, and movement. They require structured, predictable routines and need hand-under-hand guidance for new tactile tasks. They may take longer to decode tactile diagrams or braille and struggle with navigating busy, noisy, or unfamiliar environments. Profound blindness requires explicit teaching of every new spatial, academic, and daily living skill. Never assume the student knows what the world looks like. Tactile literacy is the foundation for academic success. Strategies include using braille for all reading and writing and introducing tactile discrimination exercises daily. Provide raised line diagrams, 3D models, and textures, breaking tactile information into small, structured parts. Offer repeated practice with braille math code and provide audio plus tactile combination support for comprehension. Ensure all worksheets are adapted before class. An example activity is a tactile discovery box, where a student explores textures, shapes, and objects related to the lesson. Students with profound blindness require systematic mobility training to move safely and confidently. Strategies include daily cane practice for hallways, staircases, and uneven surfaces, and using tactile markers to identify doorways, ramps, and class areas. Provide pre-teaching of every new route, class, lab, library, and teach counting steps, identifying landmarks, and turning strategies. Reduce hallway clutter and maintain a constant furniture layout. Train the student to understand room orientation and use verbal map directions regularly. An example activity is an orientation walkthrough, where a student practices navigating from a classroom to an auditorium with a cane and verbal spatial cues. Provide full access to every part of classroom learning through structured, multisensory methods. Read aloud all board content, diagrams, charts, and gestures, and give step-by-step verbal instructions. Provide tactile-based alternatives for visual tasks and encourage hands-on exploration before abstract explanation. Allow recording of lessons and use consistent verbal cues like, "I'm placing the model in your hands now." Pair the student with a trained peer buddy for non-academic tasks. An example activity is Touch Then Talk, where the student touches a model first, then the teacher describes it in detail. For math, use braille math worksheets, an abacus, and a talking calculator. For science, use 3D models for cells, organs, and circuits. Science also benefits from guided hand-under-hand for experiments and audio-only instructions with tactile demonstrations. In social science, use tactile maps, historical artifact replicas, and audio timelines. For languages, use braille spelling lists and audio reading comprehension. Assistive technology becomes essential for independent academic functioning. Supports include a refreshable braille display and screen readers. Other tools are talking calculators, tactile rulers, braille note takers for class notes, audio textbooks, daisy players, and voice typing tools. An example activity is a tech starter routine, where a student uses a braille display and screen reader to complete one daily assignment. Students with profound blindness may feel left out, anxious about navigation, or dependent on adults. Strategies include teaching self-advocacy phrases, assigning leadership roles, and facilitating structured peer interaction. Use cooperative learning groups, validate frustration during mobility challenges, and build confidence by celebrating progress. Provide accessibility that ensures equity and dignity. Accommodations include braille or audio-based exams and a trained scribe when needed. Other accommodations are extended time for tactile reading, verbal description during practical exams, and accessible seating. With structured tactile learning, strong orientation and mobility support, and the right assistive tools, middle school students with profound blindness can thrive independently, confidently, and academically. Your support helps them experience the world fully and meaningfully.